Welcome back to the IESF European Dota 2 qualifiers for 2024, presented by IESF, I guess, right? They're the one presenting it since they're organizing it. I'm Waxen, joined by Black, bringing you the second best of one of the group stages of Day 2, and it's gonna be Bulgaria, it's gonna be Azerbaijan. But before we get into that series, Black, I'm gonna give you and our viewers at home a couple of updates of what has happened off stream during that game number one. Would you like to hear them?
Yes, please. Would be very inclined to hear about it.
If you want to know where to find the results at home, you can go on iesf.gg and find them out. But Romania defeated Czech Republic 1-0, Greece defeated Slovakia, Turkey beat Kosovo, Bulgaria, the team that we will see in a moment, defeated Denmark, and Belarus defeated Serbia. These are just some of the updates. So let's not waste any more time and see what lineup Bulgaria is fielding today.
Pretty much the same as yesterday, although I do believe BZM was actually not part of that.
Yes, Mastermind was the one playing yesterday. I
Yeah,
mean, it's been a few days. Maybe he's finally made his way home. Okay, if BCM is here,
that would be beast mode.
I'm just saying. If BCM is actually here, Black, I think Bulgaria is definitely going to annihilate everybody else. Well, they should have even without BCM because Mastermind is a very skilled mid laner. We met him last year in Yash. Remember, they had such a great group stage and then they just kind of like faltered in the playoffs. So if BCM is
Yeah,
playing, I'm very afraid for Azerbaijan. Azerbaijan is also a squad that is currently 0-3, and if they want to even dream of the lower bracket, this is when they should turn it around. But I don't know. Let's see. Let's see their roster. Maybe they made some changes since yesterday, or maybe they just had an off day. As we see Azerbaijan right now fielding Sneezno, Loom, Nizam, Merlin, and Flowny. And no, that's not Merlini, guys. Merlini is not from Azerbaijan.
fortunately not. Yeah, he's also very much into tech nowadays. Very smart guy, of course. But yeah, as you said, this is do or die for them. And for most people that watch this, they'll probably argue it's death. Bulgaria is pretty damn good, especially if BZM is here. Can they beat
Question.
them if BZM is there? I almost would say no. Is there a chance if BZM is not here? Yeah, I
No,
think so.
probably not.
Ah, come on. A
Okay,
small chance.
I'm gonna go there and say it, Black. I think this could probably be the second fastest game in the whole tournament if BZM is here. I don't think anyone will beat the 5-minute 44 of Turkey Slovakia, but I think this could be a pre-minute 15 GG.
It's always possible. Ultimately, how fast a team GG's, like we've seen games that are over after like 2 minutes, right? But are they going to GG out of 2 minutes? Usually it drags out to like 20, 25, destroying all the buildings and stuff is not
Fair
not
enough.
fast. So yeah. I really it just depends on teams and how fast they does this kind of mean how fast they want to give up? No, I think that's fair. Because some teams definitely GG out earlier than others.
Yeah, it's not often we see that in the IESF because playing for your country. You're doing your best to represent them as far further in the tournament as possible. You got to get as many playtime minutes as possible versus some great opponents. And even if you are one of the lower teams with less experienced players, getting that extra time on the server with the likes of BCM, Mind Control, Leo Pleb is something that can help you develop and grow future in your career as a potential professional Dota 2 player. So I would say it's rare we get these early GGs, especially in IESF. But hey, yesterday's definitely happened, so we'll see.
Yeah. No, I'm gonna be completely honest. Like a lot of these tournaments, a lot of these kind of tournaments where it's regions against regions, countries against countries, we already know teams don't have the best players of their regions generally, which is a bit of a shame. Uh, it's being taken more and more seriously, though. I think definitely like 8 years ago, nobody took it seriously at all. So now more and more top players are playing, and as you said, the more top players there are, the more chance it gives for younger, more inexperienced squads and players to really grow. Because playing mid against BZM, you're probably gonna get crushed badly, but it's a good experience to have. It's a good replay to look at, and probably save in your, please never delete this folder kind of folder.
I'm also gonna add something to that. It's also a bit of a cultural difference because we see whenever there is a national, international team tournament, Team China always brings the best. They're not just bringing their best as in one team, they're doing their best to actually have other teams fight for the qualifiers, and all those three teams could arguably be top five in the world finals. So, this difference of culture between the East and the West is very interesting to me because I would say in traditional sports, like the Olympics are just around the corner, Black, right? You
Yeah.
get the likes of United States, of France, of Germany, of Canada, doing their very best of fielding phenomenal athletes and fight for those prizes and battle the likes of Japan, South Korea, and China in the overall category for the medals. And I don't know why that hasn't really happened as a transition towards esports, not just in Dota, but in all of the other esport titles as well. I believe in Dota last year, yes, we had the nouns represent USA, but in the end, they weren't quite prepared for the tournament, so they got crashed out in top 8. But other than them, you mentioned yesterday Nisha. The fact that he played for his team is such an honorable thing, but an exception. That is not the rule that we've seen in recent years.
Yeah, I really wish it would be more of a, common thing to do that. Yeah, pride within some players and willingness to, let's be real, it is a hassle. Like Nisha is at a tournament, he has a lot of stuff to do over there already. Like for him, it's a hassle. He doesn't have to do it. He does it because he wants to do it, and because he feels like he should do it. And I completely agree with that.
Yeah.
I just wish more players had like a similar sort of mindset. I'm very happy that Mind Control is here. All pro players that participate in this tournament, I really appreciate, and I think they're doing a great thing that
Yeah.
a lot of other people could learn from a lot.
They deserve a tip of the hat for sure, for sure. And hopefully, obviously, as time progresses and maybe as the season goes on, if you see that your team makes it uh, to Riyadh in November, and you're like, oh, we could really use you to benefit for the results of our country, then maybe we'll get more of them showing up then. But for now, let's focus on this upcoming matchup, Black. Azerbaijan and Bulgaria. What are the heroes that you expect to not see in this game be banned out firstly in the first base pick?
Well, I hope we are not going to see Beastmaster. Too
Okay.
strong. It crushed. I mean, even in the
We just saw it.
latest qualifiers, yeah. But even before that, in the qualifiers before that, in different regions, it wasn't picked much at all. Then suddenly it was picked a little bit, and then it completely exploded, and everybody picked it for good reason.
Yeah.
The hero is so busted. Like, get it out of there. You know, don't let it go through. If you have any plan against it, just delete that plan out of your folder, out of your scrape it off your whiteboard. It doesn't work. You can beat him in lane. He just comes back through ancients, gets his drums, runs into a fight, kills everybody. I'm not saying the hero is unbeatable, but make your life a little bit easier, especially in a best of one, and don't let that guy through. Whatever preparation you have, it doesn't matter. It's too hard to execute.
And I have to say, this is also a very important game for Bulgaria because if they lose, they will 100% be out of the upper bracket. Even with a win here, even with all of the wins remaining that they currently have, the chances of them still making the upper bracket are very much dependent on the results of Belarus and North Macedonia, which both have a 3-0 record. So Bulgaria needs to win all of their games and then hope that Belarus and North Macedonia, of course, one of them will get a loss to each other, and another one, ideally, to maybe force a tiebreaker and get themselves and steal that second spot. But even Serbia is ahead of them currently, so it's not as clear cut as it should be for the likes of Team Bulgaria. Even yesterday, losing two matches when you have Lil Pleb and Mind Control on your squad is not something that should ever happen.
Yeah. So TLDR is win now, so things are still in your own hands. You never, as a competitor, it just feels terrible to have to rely on other teams to lose or beat certain teams. Like you never want to have that happen.
Yeah, no, it's rough that it has happened for them. So let's see what they're going to be able to do if they want to, get themselves back into this tournament. Hopefully, with the BCM addition, if he is here, they will manage to turn it all around. But if you start in the lower bracket, it is a best of three. Luckily, it's not a best of one. but still, you could feel off that moment. You lose the best of three, and that could be really very much the end of the season. And Bulgaria not making it to Riyadh would be a very, very sad sight to see, considering the fact that, like I said, last year they got a top 8, and they would not just want to replicate their success, but actually go even further probably this time around.
Yeah, for me, they're still, though, at least minimum a top 5 team. Like, I don't see how they won't make it. Even if they start in the lower bracket, it could potentially be a little bit close, but ultimately, they're still gonna make it, right?
Yeah.
There isn't a world where they're gonna lose. Like, lower bracket, all that, in a best of 3. I don't see it happening. Unless,
really? I think
unless they play against someone like, Poland unexpectedly, or Georgia, like a really strong team.
Which could be possible, because obviously in the Poland-Georgia group, only 2 teams can make it, and Ukraine is pretty much guaranteed for a spot. I'm just saying, there is a world in which Bulgaria, because of 2 hiccups yesterday, doesn't make to Riyadh, which would be very sad to see.
Very sad to see, and very upsetting for them too, because obviously, like, the players they're fielding, they wouldn't field them if they didn't have the ambition to go, right?
Yeah.
Like, all of them want to go. That's what they're training for. That's what they've been working for. So, yeah. Give it your best, man. Like, you can't allow any more losses at this point.
I'm trying to figure out, I'm looking at the bracket right now. So they are in Group C, of course, Bulgaria and Azerbaijan both here. And if let's assume they get 3rd place, that means they will most likely face a lower bracket 4th place from Group A, I believe, which could be a very tough one. They could face Romania. If Romania scrapes by in 4th, we could get a Bulgaria-Romania matchup in the lower bracket with a Weha versus BZM mid lane tomorrow. That would be a hell of a start to our day.
Certainly would be, and it seems like Romania is actually sort of waking up now. So that's the thing about these qualifiers, especially with a round robin into double elim bracket. Slower starting teams, they have a chance of still making it.
Yeah.
Like, if it was the same format as our other qualifiers, Romania would be dead right now.
I mean, we saw, what was it, the Australia-New Zealand qualifier? That was literally a single match, wasn't it?
It was, yep. 1 BO3, and that's it. That's all you get.
Do you think we have seen, other than Poland, okay, other than Poland, I gotta say that asterisk, no Poland and Ukraine. Maybe Poland and Ukraine are the best teams we've seen in the qualifiers up to this point, all around, not just Europe. So other than Poland and Ukraine, out of the teams we had on stream so far, Black, do you think is there one that could hold a candle to China?
So you're basically implying that the 2 of them could.
With Nisha, 100%.
Okay, yeah. I think I sort of agree with that. I mean, we haven't seen Greece. Have you seen Greece on stream yet?
No, we haven't. No. So, okay, yeah, we know Greece in theory, but we haven't seen them. So, out of the teams we have seen.
All right, out of the teams we have seen. That's a tough one, man. You know me, I'm a realist. I'm going to say none.
We also haven't seen Sweden at all, which is quite curious, actually. I'm excited to get the chance to see them today. It won't happen today. We won't see Greece or Sweden today either, but Greece more than likely will make it the upper bracket, currently undefeated 3-0. Sweden in a similar position, 3-0 in Group B. So don't be concerned if you're a fan of the Swedish or the Greek squad. They will most likely be on our broadcast tomorrow during the playoffs.
What about yourself, though? So, as I said, I think none. Do you think any, other than the 2 that you mentioned, have a chance? Against China, that is.
See,
and it's going to be best of 3s. It's not going to be BO1s.
I gotta say Bulgaria should, but not by the way they've played. Because we've seen them on stream, right? And they've lost 2 games, which is crazy. The fact that they even lost 1 game, not 2. So I think with the full roster, Bulgaria should maybe play well versus China. Not beat them, but I think they should have a chance. With that being said, based on their current performance, I don't think Bulgaria could even beat Slovakia in this tournament. I don't know. It's been very underwhelming to see the fact that yesterday they played on stream first game of the day, right? Bulgaria dominated 60 to 12 kills or whatever it was, and then they went off stream for one match they lost, and then they came back for the very last match of the day, which you covered, Black, and they lost to
Yeah.
North Macedonia. So do you think North Macedonia could maybe not get slaughtered by China? I don't know, because you tell me.
Yeah, it's tough. Like, not only because I know China is gonna field probably the best players they can, but it's just how seriously they're preparing for everything. Like, China never takes it easy. They're gonna boot camp probably for a month to make sure they have the highest chance possible of winning these tournaments, because otherwise Xiao 8 will probably say mean things to them in their sleep. It's tough to see, honestly. I gotta admit, even Poland and Ukraine, yes, I think they have a chance, but just the amount of preparation, I think, will be hugely different. China just takes it way too seriously. I don't think you can take it too seriously. I mean, compared to other regions, they take it way too seriously.
Well, I gotta say, China has also not looked good at all lately. Like even the tier one teams that are practicing all the time, the likes of, I guess, what is it, G2IG, and the new LGD team, they're just not playing well. So maybe there's something there that, right, like maybe Europe and the rest of the world have completely overtaken China as one of the top two regions. Because realistically speaking, look at the last 5 tournaments. I think other with one exception, there hasn't been a Chinese team in the top three.
Yeah, I don't think you're wrong. Right now, China is definitely struggling to find sort of their identity and their playstyle, what works, what doesn't work. In
You know,
theory, though, it should just be a matter of time, right? Like, China always figures out their way of playing, and they will come back very strongly. So, I mean, we still have teams like XG who are performing, but yeah, certainly not as well as we probably would love to.
yeah, China used to be like constantly a top three presence. Even if they wouldn't win the event, they would at least have a team that would make top three or top four. Which, again, other than like you said, G2IG and XG hasn't really been the case. But finally, let's not theory craft about what will happen in 4 months from now, Black, as this draft is underway with Bulgaria and Azerbaijan. Bulgaria having first pick and Azerbaijan overall last pick. Monkey King banned out another one of these heroes that is so good, both as a safe lane carry, mid lane a little bit, but even as support, that European teams are kind of avoiding. Azerbaijan, though, they do what I want to see. Ban out the strong offlaners in the Darkseer and the Beast. Well done.
Yeah, I liked it a lot too. Especially against a player like Mind Control, you do not want to give him any chance to, destroy you with those kind of heroes. We have seen a lot of Wind Ranger picks from their team, which is interesting. I mean, not just from their team, actually. We're just seeing a lot of Wind Ranger in general, which is a little bit surprising to me. I'm not sure why people like that hero so much right now.
I'm gonna be honest. I think first and foremost, it's just a fun hero to play. There's always a fun hero to play, right? So it's a Wind Ranger. Let's be honest. But I think people see way more value in it than the hero actually provides currently. In my humble opinion, of course. In pubs, it has a very strong win rate for the carry role, 56. Actually, the highest win rate out of any carry in pubs. But I would say in team environment, the hero doesn't do quite as well because it's much easier to shut it down when the communication is on point, right?
Yeah, it's definitely pub killer, as you said. Very hard to shut down. Runs around you, and yeah, I mean, just the damage output, right? We know Wind Ranger, the memes. Ult and you're dead. There's nothing you can do about it, which is very true, to be honest. In many cases, like, you
I mean,
literally
we
just
saw
die.
that even last game with Eki. He was like getting 2v1, then he would turn around with focus fire and still get a kill, sacrificing himself in the process. But do you think, okay, banning out all these like beasts, weavers, darkseers, are they trying to single out mind control, or are they just taking out? Because for me, it feels like they're actually taking out just the S tier picks in the meta.
Yeah, I don't think it's necessarily mind control targeted. Although I do believe if you give a player like mind control the chance to play them, it's a lot
It's
scarier
easier.
than your average player.
Yeah.
So it's not super targeted, I think, but it's like a nice little side effect of it, I guess.
Bulgaria batting a lot of position fours here. Nyx, Rubik,
The
Monkey
next one
King.
is interesting.
Does that tell us what they might want to play with? I mean, what does Nyx counter these days? It's a great hero, and I think the Carapace is very good because there's a lot of splash damage in the spells coming in this 736 patch. So obviously Carapace just instantly stuns the opponent from it. But yeah, first... Oh, that's why. Okay, Nyx is a great counter to the Sand King. They wanted a Sand King first pick. That makes sense.
Yeah. Hopefully it's a mid one. Hopefully it is a mid one. I don't want to see another offlane Sand King. I know MC can pull it off. I know MC likes the hero, but please. Even if you go to MC, let him go mid.
I think he is also a Grandmaster on the Sand King, but I think if this is BZM, I think BZM has played Sand King mid at Riyadh just this week, so we'll see. Oh, I don't think we've confirmed yet if BZM is actually playing for Bulgaria, or it's also going to be Mastermind. But Phoenix banned out. Obviously, Bulgaria can't play the hero now because the opponents already have Snapfire, so Azerbaijan would more than love to get that pairing of the Phoenix Supernova plus the Snap themselves. So that's why we've seen it banned out. Spirit Breaker taken out as well. This tells me that Bulgaria does not want to be ran at. Look at all the 5 bans. There are heroes that have an excellent explosive timing during the mid-game black.
Yeah, I really like the way they banned out the heroes. What are they really planning to do though with that? I mean, Snapfire we have seen pretty successful in this qualifier as well, and different lanes. What's your favorite lane for Snapfire? Mid support. You like a mid best?
I was a hater because I saw people started trying it like 3 weeks ago, and I thought no, it's not good. But after a couple of matches I've seen in the last 5 days, I'm actually starting to turn into a believer. The reason why I think this hero is back to being so strong is because Little Shredder does so much damage in the first 12 to 15 minutes, and obviously if you play it as a mid laner, you can prioritize maxing it out. Whereas if you play as a support, you see your Snapfire maxing Little Shredder, and 1 point in Scatterblast, you're gonna wonder what the hell are you doing, you know?
Yeah. No, it's very true. Little Shredder obviously got buffed quite a bit. And I mean, she can still transition very nicely into a core role anyway with Maelstroms because of her. I forgot what the facet is called, but like you have a miss hit or the glancing blow, and then it like is a double shot.
The scatter, basically. I think it's a scatter splat, something like that. Something like that.
Something like that, yeah. And you know which one I mean. Which is also funny because it triggers on miss hits too, not just on the glancing shots that you have a 25% chance of getting. Oh, Pangolier is back in the house, baby.
Sorry, it's called a ricochet. It's a ricochet. It ricochets the shots. I kind of like, if you play support Snap, I like the full bore one, the one that makes the scatter blast much longer but not more narrow. I think it deals way more damage as a support Snap, but we don't know for sure. And with this Pangolier black, okay, I know we've talked about this Pangolier. I think it was in the Asian qualifiers for Chengdu. The hero just doesn't win mid. Even still, it's been a month since then. The hero has a great win rate nowadays, but only from offlane. Like 2 out of 10 games he's played in mid, he wins. But the other 8, he loses mid lane but wins offlane. It's a very strange point for the hero because he's building this Echo Saber build nowadays, which is not a build that you want to have on an offlane because we talked about the impact of the auras. But we see Pangoliers go offlane, rush Echo Saber, and take over the game like he would a mid laner.
Yeah, I think some heroes just don't have the capability of doing these auras, which is then what we would classify as a greedy offlaner, right? Which I think Pangolier fits perfectly into that role. Like, as you said, the Echo Saber, him being a university hero. You just do so much damage. Heartstopper procs, suddenly have -8 armor, and you're like, all right, good luck dying, I guess, because I just deal a ton of damage now.
And now, Keeper of the Light, Ember Spirit, which automatically means support Snap, support Coddle duo?
Probably, which also means Pangolier Coddle off lane together, which is a very strong lane, like a super spammable lane. I like the setup a lot. Honestly, I miss Coddle, especially support Coddle. Like, he makes lanes really annoying.
I love support Coddle. I hate support Coddle mid, as you know. But I think this lineup from Azerbaijan is very greedy. Like, both the Coddle and the Snapfire want to get items, like you mentioned. That's why she wants to get that Maelstrom and turn into a right-clicker later on. And now, the Faceless Void being picked up here. When you have these Sank... That's such a classic, man. You get Chrono into... epic, what is it called? Not Barrow Strike.
Epicenter.
Epic Center, not Epic Strike. There we go. Thank you,
Yeah.
Black. And a macro player. And I'm gonna tell you, I saw this in Tier 2 Southeast Asia just 10 days ago. I think I casted that game. I had a Void that did not go Chronosphere because he did have a Sanking. And they won the game. It didn't look incredible. But the thought process behind it was the Sanking can then move in the square instead of the bubble.
Or you mean what's it called? The facet names are crazy.
The poor man's Chronosphere. That's what I call it.
Yeah, I think that's very, very fair.
I think it's the time zone. I think, yeah, because
time zone. That sounds about right. Yeah.
Or time area. No, time zone. Time zone sounds about right. Yeah. So, if I'm Bulgaria and I really need to win this game to actually not lose the group stage and be eliminated, I think I'm still going Chronosphere. But you can understand why you would want to see, Sanking is an elusive hero in the classic combo from, I don't know, 2014, Chrono, Epic Center. You get stale, you stop there. But if you have the time zone, you can be mobile. You can barrel strike in and out and chase targets, which is very cool also because the time zone slows down this Pangolier roll, the kisses, and all the projectiles, even the fire remnants of the Ember Spirit. So, again, I would be interesting to see the interaction between these spells, but I hope maybe not this game.
Yeah, that's the thing. Chronosphere is just such an overwhelming ability, right? Like you literally can win games with just hitting a good Chronosphere. So there's it would always be very hard to argue against just choosing that over everything.
Yeah.
Because of how ridiculously strong it is. But as you said, I do believe that the other facet, like the other Chronosphere, actually has its points and has not been explored properly yet at all. Just because Chronosphere is so dominant, nobody wants to explore it. But, today might be the day, man.
And I guess there is some counters to that. Right? Ember is quite elusive.
And the thing is, you can just BKB,
Yeah. But before you get BKB, that's what I mean, right? You got the Keeper of the Light pushing you back with his second ability, the Blinding Light. So that's usually a hero you pick versus Void to punish that. I assume Pangolier will build Echo Saber Guardian Greaves. That is one of the builds that I've seen that I really like, actually. And then finishing Harpoon.
Yeah, basically just means that you're building up to be a strong fighter early, and then you still transition to the auras like most offlaners would anyway.
Yeah. But granted, this is Azerbaijan versus Bulgaria. Bulgaria should be like top 3 team in the tournament, despite losing a few games. And Azerbaijan is 0-3, right? Are we even gonna get the Echo Saber completed on the Pangolier before the game ends? We'll have to wait and see. It's gonna be an individual performance type play, but that means Sanking offlane Black. It's gonna be mind controlled going for it. He likes the hero too much to let us have some fun.
Yeah, I mean, maybe he can prove us wrong, but we'll see. We're not convinced. I would love to be convinced, though. I'm a big Sanking fan, especially farm Sanking. Just always makes games look so cool. From an observer perspective, I hate it from a player perspective.
Yeah, it does feel quite annoying to play into it sometimes, but we do have
CK.
Man,
CK is rough. Doesn't Sanking love to play against CK? Not just in the lane, but like in the game?
I swear we saw that matchup last game and the CK killed the Sanking multiple times. No, that was Beastmaster, wasn't it?
That was Beastmaster, yeah.
Ignore that.
But it can function in a very similar way. Because once you get that Orchid, you can literally just solo kill.
Yeah,
pretty much anything.
It's going to be up to who has the better initiation, but it's quite hard to see because the counter initiation from the Chronosphere lineup of Bulgaria will be quite good. I also believe we did see Mastermind pick the Storm Spirit, so there's no BZM.
Again, yeah. Unfortunate. But, I mean, Mastermind himself, I don't want to downplay him. He's a very strong player in his own rights. It's just BZM is, he's BZM. He needs no introduction.
I'm just wondering, because we keep talking about Eastern European squads and their mentality, the likes of Team Romania, the likes of, Hungary, and now Bulgaria. They were 1-0, now they're 1-2, and they're fielding the same lineup as yesterday, Black. Do you believe there is a potential for their mental to not be good enough to bounce back into today.
I think it can always happen, especially for, well, how do we call these kind of teams? Mixed teams, I guess we can call them.
Mm-hmm.
That, you don't always like each other. In fact, a lot of people from the same region, they played a lot with each other, which can mean you either like each other a lot or you really dislike each other.
Okay.
So, it could definitely be a case of them just not having the best sort of team atmosphere in general. And that impacts a lot on Dota, as we all know.
Well, let's see. The game is underway. We have a Grandmaster Keeper of the Light support, but okay, I love this from Bulgaria. They just went for the heroes that they love to play. Storm, Sanking, Void, also Grandmasters. Let's see who's gonna have the upper hand in this level 1 potential skirmish.
Radiant's lineup is pretty damn strong. But so is Dire's with Coddle, of course. You can never downplay Coddle's effectiveness in these skirmishes. Let's see. It will all come down to positioning.
I guess there's way more reliable lock for Bulgaria than for Azerbaijan level 1.
Yeah, and a lot of AoE as well.
Should be a wash for now. Radiant should get the bottom water rune and their own jungle bounty. Although La Jolla might have overstepped too close, but no. He will be not go that deep, not get caught by Loom's CK. Or will he? Oh, never mind. I've just jinxed him. But he did not get in range for the Chaos Bolt.
Yeah, didn't go full greed. He was just like, I'm checking out where's someone here. Oh, yep, there is. Bye.
What do you think of the Spirit Brother matchup, Black? Ember Spirit versus Storm Spirit. Who has the upper hand on your
Storm always wins that.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, like Storm against melee heroes is just so oppressive. Especially with the Walking Remnant, you can literally never dodge it. And one Remnant is enough to take off Flame Guard level 1.
Can't you dodge it with the Sleight of Fist?
You can. You can, but then it has a, 3 seconds cooldown, so you just put another one down.
Yeah.
It's a tough matchup. Actually, it's gotten a lot better since it's percentage-based now, not on a full amount. So you don't break the Flame Guard as easily anymore. But yeah, Storm against melee heroes, as I said, it just always feels pretty bad for the melee hero.
Down bottom, this is a weird matchup. We don't see Keeper of the Light play support. Well, we don't see Keeper of the Light play at all lately, I would say. And the
yeah, like ever, pretty much.
Yeah, it's strange, and this Jakiro has been a favorite of a lot of people. This Liquid Frost seems to be considered by many support players in Tier 1 Dota very, very high value. That's why we see him go for it level 1 even.
Yeah, movement speed slow, bonus damage. It's a very strong ability. And Dual Breath just costs too much mana to really sustainably cast early on.
A pop. Mind Control. Will get out of his own Sandstorm to stay alive for a while longer. Scatterblast, they're turning onto La Jolla. Bushwhack to keep the snap far away. Chaos Bolt. Deterred. Mind Control. Good bait, allowing the Hoodwink to get out there. Now the Acorn Shot plus the Long Grenade. Perfect turnaround. A bit of a mistake there from Gloom on the CK. He should have used the Chaos Bolt for the Hoodwink, but because he used it on Mind Control, allowed for that turnaround as the Hoodwink escaped.
Yeah, nice little exploitation of making mistakes there. Well, truth be told, I always explain Dota in a way where I say it's a game of mistakes, and the team that wins is the one that forces more mistakes and punishes the mistakes that are being made better. I literally don't know a single player that plays perfectly because it's impossible.
Not even yourself?
Not even myself, you know. I can be pretty arrogant, as you know, but you know, it has its limits.
It's arrogance, not delusion.
Exactly. And there's a big difference between the two, obviously.
Still, despite that first blood, Loom is still firing all right for now on the CK. We'll see how much he will struggle potentially once Mind Control hits level 4 and 5. But for now, He's trading equal last hits with the Sanking. In mid, as you predicted, Mastermind has a full creep wave advantage over the Ember Spirit.
Could get even worse than that, so Ember is actually doing pretty well for himself. But in theory, the matchup should get worse and worse. Time goes on.
Nice Searing Chains. Doesn't have enough mana though. We'll need to wait for the water in 20 seconds to refill that. Do we have any rotate potential? Yeah, definitely. I guess the Hoodwink is a great rotator. Oh, Scatterblast misses! And now, Mind Control with the double Burrow Strike and the damage. Blood Grenade Loom might just fall there. They use the sticks and the cookie to get out of there, and he will be safe for a while longer. Acorn Shot will get the job done with the Facet. Another Barrow Strike. It could very well be a double kill. It's just going to be 2 casualties for Azerbaijan's safe lane.
It's tough, isn't it? I mean, Bulgaria is definitely... They're ready to play today. They know they're the favorite, and yeah. We'll see if they can do anything to stop them. But they're looking to be on a rampage. For today, at least.
For this match, at least.
For this match, at least.
Mastermind made his way all the way back to base and then TP'd back. He pushed the lane with using a couple of static remnants. Interesting. At least he doesn't have a TP now.
Yeah, also is level 6 though, so unless there's a rotation that kills him, it's a pretty common move that we see out of the mid lane. Push, TP back so you don't lose anything.
Nizami's playing this to the very best of his ability. I gotta commend this, right? He is only 3 last hits behind if he gets all of the ones under the tower now. He's a similar level with the Storm Spirit, and yeah, I mean, you said you were expecting this to be way more one-sided, and so far Nizam is offsetting that, looking like the best lane going for Dire's side up until this moment.
Yeah, certainly doing very well for himself, as you said. Not easy, especially against a player like Mastermind. As I said, he's not, you know, the best in the world, but he definitely can hold his own. Pretty high ranked player as well.
Do you know I'm an Ember Spirit player, Black?
Oh yeah?
Yeah, I mean, I never played in my ranks because I don't want to grief, but like when I want to play mid, Ember Spirit is one of my go-tos, yeah.
What do you like about him?
I think it's just mobility, flash farming, yeah. It's fun, spellcaster, not a lot of cooldowns, you know, just easy.
I mean, it is a very fun mid laner. It's just a very... I don't want to say it's very complicated, but he's definitely one of the more complicated ones.
Are you insinuating I can't play complicated heroes, Black? Is that what you're saying?
I would never do that. You know me. I'm Mr. Nice Guy. Sometimes.
Stun up top. Floney gets caught. I guess Mastermind was going for a gank. Just leached a bit of that XP. We'll walk back to mid.
No, funny thing is, they're crushing top lane, but he's still behind the CS. You can't convince me that Sanking offlane is actually a thing.
I don't need to convince you, Black. It is a thing. It's just not a good thing.
So it shouldn't be a thing.
Every good needs some bad in life, right? You can't have
yin and yang. That's very true.
Yeah, exactly. You know, that's basically the duality of Sanking. Kind of sucks in the off lane, kind of OP in the mid lane.
So let's put him in the off lane.
There was a missed cookie, I think.
It was, yeah. Oh, Storm with a nice rotation. Coddle, of course, against Storm. You are the freest of free foods. There's really nothing you can do.
No pleb. Okay. Playing under the tier 1 tower now. Fail. Wants to turn around. There is a stick and a raindrop on this Jakiro. Scatterblast is off cooldown in just a few seconds. Fail. Can you get out of there? Floney. Good observer word. Knows he's still in the tree line. Continues the chase, and yeah, he'll be fine. Even Scatterblast comes in too late, but the damage would have not been enough because he went for the Ricochet.
the Ricochet as a support is very interesting.
I mean, you said it's good because you can farm out later with it, right? So I guess maybe that's why.
Yeah, but as a support, the other one is just much better in laning.
I agree. No, I mean, I said that's the one I want to see, but... is Lil Pleb level 6 to a level 4 of the Pangolier? My goodness, how is that even possible?
Well, Pangolier is historically not the greatest laner. Let's put it in a nice way.
Yeah, I guess Jakiro is quite hard to play into, I assume. Oh, look at mind control, going for the stacks. He's also gone for the face boots, by the way.
Yeah, it seems to be the offlane thing to do. I know a lot of mid laners love the threats. Just be tanky. Also depends on the item build he plans to go for, I guess. Whether he wants to go for the tanky Bloodstone build or not. Storm comes in. Hello!
Slowly, even the Sharpshooter come in for a bit of an extra break. They're going forward. They want to get some cheering chains. There's not that much mana on the Storm Spirit.
The
nice.
Chrono!
Oh, they're gone. Yeah, what a Chronosphere. Lil Pleb just walking out of his lane to come here. Merlin really wants to get the kill. Onto Mastermind. Can he get on top of him? Sneeze though. Will get right-clicked down by Lil Pleb. Ice Path, perfect. Double kill. It's actually a killing spree, not a double kill for the Storm Spirit. And it's suddenly 8-0.
Perfect score, yeah. I mean, let's be honest, it can't get much better than that.
I mean, we had a GG in minute 5 yesterday. It's minute 10. There's no GG. I'm just saying it could get better. Oh, La Jolla might be suffering the first casualty for Azerbaijan. Yes, he will fall to the long-range slide of fist from Nizam.
Alright, finally on the board. What Storm says. Give me more money, Coddle, who's literally a walking ATM for the Storm.
Okay, the Scatterblast missed again. That's the third Scatterblast he misses. I don't think they would have killed him with the damage. But, like, I understand if you're going for the narrow Scatterblast and you miss. The target was standing still, for goodness sake. How did that not connect again?
Well, maybe if you had the facet, that gives it extra range, you know?
No. That's not the problem. He just missed it.
Yeah, I know.
Never mind. And then 9-1. At least Azerbaijan has a kill. And CK is second in last hits currently in minute 11. That's not that bad. Considering Mind Control has a lot of those from the stacks in the triangle, the CK is not looking too bad, as we have another nice escape coming in the mid lane from Nizam, who's clearly a good Ember Spirit player. You can tell by the way he uses his spells, and he dodged multiple bushwhacks with both the Sleight of Fist and now with the Remnant. I think it's a good sign for Azerbaijan that they have at least a couple of very skilled players.
Yeah, still 4k gold behind though, and we already saw so many Storm Spirit games. That's a hero where if you fall behind, you can suddenly just feel like you have no Dota left to be played. Yeah, he's everywhere, so fast.
He's got 9 Galvanized stacks already, by the way.
Yep. Which I still don't know why Storm needed that to begin with. Please remove, thank you.
Nah, I think it's fun. It's
it is fun, but it's also broken as heck.
Oh, maybe they'll change it. Maybe they'll nerf it like the Lifestealer one. I think it was nerfed slightly actually in 736C, but obviously still very, very strong spell still. As they're putting some pressure on Mastermind mid, and the Evans Root will get taken by Nizam, but it's going to be the Bushwhack connection from La Jolla. Ice Path not going to get there in time, and now Nizam, beautiful slide of fist, Searing Chains onto 2 targets, and another kill going for the Ember Spear now failed. Kisses, okay, they're actually making enough vision for them to know that they can go up the high ground safely. Not the best kisses in time, but you know, just granting that extra vision so you don't get turned around by a Chronosphere waiting for you on the high ground is pretty important.
Yeah, and this game is, there's a slight lead for the Radiant, but Dire definitely has the heroes to fight back. They will have Orchids too to deal with the Storm in due time. So I actually don't really dislike their chances in this game. Yeah, they're behind, but they're not out for sure.
They're not out, but that's a level 7 offlane Pangolier to a level 12 Sanking offlane. I'm just saying, like, that's a 5-level deficit minute 12. That's kind of incredible.
Yeah, I mean, what the hell did Mind Controllers do?
Farm? I don't know.
Yeah, but they're going to CS. He wasn't that farmed initially. Holy crap.
That's a lot of damage coming in, but this Ember Spirit When he's silenced, he's as good as done for as Mastermind gets that kill. Mastermind is second in net worth currently. And, we talked about the build-up on the Pangolier. He's going straight into the mech first before the Echo Saber because of how rough his laning phase was.
Yeah, and that's really how Pangolier can trickle out of the game. The reason why people build Echo Saber early on is just because you can fight with it so well.
Yeah.
You deal a ton of damage because you are a universal hero. But as you said, his game has been pretty tough, to say the least.
And we see that yet again here. And Mastermind with his Orchid, he's going to keep amplifying and multiplying his Galvanized stacks. And I just got to say, the last couple of kills, both the Ember and the Pangolier, were without the usage of the Chronosphere. Lilplib is just there right-clicking people. That's an interesting stat. More bounty runes were collected by Azerbaijan thus far. Thus, 700 gold lead out of those trades going in their favor. Thank you very much, production. Minute 14 wisdoms get traded. I don't know. I mean, be honest with me, Black. What is the best build the Ember could go for? Because he needs to both survive and get aggressive. So what does he build?
Well, I think he's going to the Mage Slayer, which does help his problem of survivability, of course.
Okay.
But the problem with that is that you don't really have a great way of sustaining yourself in the game. Like, he has no acceleration item, basically, is what I'm getting at. No sort of Maelstrom, no way to farm.
For the 4 points in Steering Chain Sleight of Fist, I feel like the build I've seen on Ember recently is maxing out Flame Guard and Sleight of Fist, and only a point in Steering Chains, but maybe they feel desperate that they need the lock and the damage, and they're gonna find a Storm Spirit who turns around with the Orchid. Nice cookie on top of him. The Rolling Thunder will be pitch perfect. Mastermind picked off by Merlin, and that's a mega kill streak. Collected by the Pangolier, who's now going ahead, wants to go on La Jolla. Nice bushwhack, but the Fire's Remnant coming there. Illuminate and Hoodwink, 1 HP. Gets popped a big Lotus from Lil Pleb. Had the greater healing Lotus, allowing the Hoodwink to stay safe there.
Yeah, slowly getting back into the game. The lead was a 6k, now back to 5. You know, as I said, there is potential. However, you are playing against the Faceless Void, and Faceless Void is very scary. I believe he hasn't really been touched so far.
Yeah, you don't have the realistic luxury of the ultra late game. Despite Chaos Knight being a very good hero in late game, it's not a Void with a Chrono.
Yeah, Void in late game is ridiculously strong, always has been. Probably will never change. Unless the hero gets reworked.
Oh, down bottom. They think that's the real kill. Oh my god! That is a lot of utility being thrown at only a couple of Phantasm Illusions. And Azerbaijan with the biggest debate, forcing out the first Macropire Chronosphere combo of this entire match. And Loom, more than happy to see that one be used for nothing. Now, Chrono in cooldown, maybe you should go for a smoke and try to kill the Void.
Yeah, there's also almost Orchid ready, and they know they have no ult, so it's go time. Very interesting. Why did they think it was a real one?
I guess because they were 3?
Yeah, but the faster can do that, right? 50% chance of that.
Well, they took their chance, and it was the wrong chance.
Yeah, it's high risk, low reward kind of thing.
I mean, this Chaos Knight is the second most farmed hero on the map somehow, despite the fact that he hasn't been involved with any of these team kills. 0-1 and 0 has the Orchid now. That's why he's trying to find someone, and he wants to find a Jakiro who's playing in a very weird position just under the Ancients. But he will TP back up top, and I believe this is the sign that Azerbaijan will be giving the tier 1 bottom for free. But there's 3 players next to the secret shop. I don't know what they're doing.
The Orchid pickup is also very scary on CK. Now they have been answered the storm. Yeah, maybe they were just like trying to plan their next move towards the mid lane. I'm not entirely sure what they were planning there as well.
They've wasted about 40 seconds, and now they're finally going bottom to push the tower. Huh. Maybe they had a stack in triangle that they were killing. Maybe.
Potentially, yeah.
Tier 1 top gets taken by La Jolla and Fail. Both teams will lose their respective safe lane towers. And now Loom will invade the bottom side of the jungle to keep on farming. There's a lot of drawings on the map desperately from the Azerbaijan squad. As Loom, Black is not going for the greedy build. He is queuing up a BKB, which I think, as we spoke plenty of times, this qualifier is the correct thing to do.
Especially against the Sanking Storm. You don't have BKB, you will die pretty much immediately. I want to have them see and try to use the Orchid though onto the Storm Spirit.
So
right now is a very strong timing. You've got to be able to use it somehow.
And that you need to do it before the pipe comes in for my control. But I think that timing's out because he has the pipe in 3, 2, 1.
Welcome to Pipeline, my brothers.
Manta style on the Void also will be completed, which means you will be able to dispel the silence of the Orchid Malevolence. And yeah, Storm will be the sole target that you can still pick off, as the Ember Spirit has actually caught up with the Storm in net worth. But my biggest question mark is this Pangolier. He's so underfarmed. A lot of this gold deficit is the difference between him and, well, that's basically all the difference. It's 5-6k behind the Sanking of Mind Control.
It's tough. If you have to go for an item build like this, and you can't really, itemize into farming a little bit faster and better, you can fall off very easily. And the Radiant Heroes are pretty good against you too. I'm a little bit worried about the Pangolier's impact come mid-game. But we'll see, maybe a good roll.
Yeah, we saw a good roll when they killed the Storm before the Orchid, right? Speaking of the Storm, he almost died to the Orchid, but he had a bottled up haste room allowing him to get out. The Orchid expired and just bolt lighting out of there, TPing to safety. Loom would have loved to get that kill, but you don't have the rune control versus a Storm Spirit. That's the type of stuff that happens.
Yeah, power rune control in Dota has been important for how many years now? Forever?
I think even more so nowadays, but look at it. They're going in for mid. They want to kill this Mind Control. He has the Blightstone pop off there. Can they kill him in time? The Ice Path to create separation. Lil Pleb going in the backline to kill the Mortimer's Kisses of the Snapfire. There's no BKB on the Chaos Knight, so he's dying to all of the magic damage coming in from the Radiant side. They have yet to get a single one. Merlin swashbuckles away, but Lil Pleb coming in. Pigpole or not, you will fall at my feet. Ember Spirit and Coddle, the only two survivors, and 101 Dota with Black Dota, ladies and gentlemen. I introduced Black and his lesson of why you should not be focusing on Sanking with Bloodstone.
Very right. I mean, Mind Control is ridiculously farmed. Almost died. Almost died.
He didn't get it.
He couldn't get in range for it. That's tough.
And Mind Controls, they was doing so much slow. Guardian Greaves come in from Merlin, trying to help Sneeze and all. If Coddle falls, it's essentially a full team-wide. Mind Control would actually hold himself back. After that team fight, he had about 2,000 gold influx, so he's gonna purchase the Veil of Discord. The team fight lasted so long, the fight recap doesn't even show us all, but we can break it down quite easily for you. Focus Sanking, get wiped.
Yeah, especially a tanky Sanking like this. And even though he played from the off lane, he's literally itemizing like a mid laner would. So
yeah,
what's the harm?
He's level 18.
If you get that farmed, like I actually want to see the replay how he got so farmed. I'm probably gonna download it later.
It's ridiculous. It stacks, and he stacked a lot for himself actually.
Yeah, I mean it has to be, but still, that amount of farm is ridiculous.
We haven't seen a good chrono. I mean, we've only seen one chrono that was a bait, and despite the fact that the chrono wasn't used, Bulgaria is still 11,000 gold ahead. At least Azerbaijan will get the Tormentor. They're gonna sacrifice the Keeper of the Light for him, but,
Some sacrifices have to be made, my friend.
How do you kill this level 18 Sanking? You didn't kill him when he was 16 or 17, the previous team fight. He now also has a Veil. He is rushing a Sheath's Guard as his third item. He probably could have it pre-minute 26 at this rate if he continues accelerating his farm. He's got 240 last hits at minute 23.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I mean. I know how he farmed, but it's still ridiculous how much gold he actually got. Especially as an offlaner.
I guess Mind Control has big shoes to fill in now that now that Nisha hasn't played today. He really wants to display that why he is now, without an argument, the most experienced, the highest skilled player in the tournament.
Yeah, he wants to show dominance on the server. Of course.
Oh, Lil Pleb smoked up, breaks, spots Loom, jumps forward, Chronosphere on top of the CK. This time it's not a Phantasm Illusion. The Macro Pyre comes in pitch perfect. They're using so much stuff to blow him up, and Loom will get killed and overtaken in net worth by Mastermind Storm Spirit, who has a BKB and almost a Kaya.
And it's only gonna get tougher from here. Only gonna get tougher from here, my friend. I actually feel like they didn't even play bad, you know. Bulgaria today just decided to show up.
No, I think Azerbaijan has played pretty good. I think they've had a good draft. I don't know necessarily about the Connell snaps, the support duo, but they didn't get punished as bad as I thought they would because of them too. It's just, yeah, you're completely in a mismatch, and we don't know if Azerbaijan just had a bad day yesterday. Because potentially, if they played at this, they would have played at this level. They might not have been 0-3, right? Because they're playing like a pretty good unit.
Yeah, as I said, I really like what they bring to the table. And as you said, having an off day can be very punishing in this sort of format. Fortunately. But, I mean, it's not over yet. But Mind Control basically wants to say, it is kind of over. What are you talking about?
Let's see. Who can they pick off, if anybody? They're heading towards the Radiant jungle. They're invading it properly, but there's nobody there as Bulgaria is all up top. The smoke still about 12, 6, 15? I don't know. About a few more seconds available on it. And Mike, you can't jump on this Mind Control tanking again under the tier 1. You've done it once when he was less farmed. He would just destroy you all, as he now has full Shiva's Guard. Nah, they realize that's impossible, so they're just hitting the creeps in the jungle.
Yeah, he's so incredibly tanky, actually. Wow. I think he might not die at all anymore in this entire game.
I don't think he's died yet either, so it's not anymore. He hasn't died and he won't die. As now we're gonna get an Aegis on Mastermind. Storm Spirit has it. Has the BKB.
What do we have to say now? Oh yeah, Storm Spirit is the best Aegis carrier in the game, of course.
Yeah, no. I think the cliche is one of the, if not the best carrier in the game. That's the way that everybody words it every single time.
Sorry. Yeah, my bad.
It's like,
I'll work on it for next time.
Yeah. The thing is like one of those things like when you, I don't know, when you sign a contract to cast a Dota game, that's part of the contract. You gotta say it that way.
Yeah, if you don't, you can't cast the game.
Yeah. Of course.
So I'm out basically.
Kick W. Lil Pleb level 18. 3 points in chrono. Rushing his BKB is gonna have it in about 800 gold. Smoke up. They are going for an invasion. They see Floney bottom and the Illuminate wave from the Keeper of the Light. They're being drawn at the map from the support of Bulgaria. Now let's see. Can Azerbaijan cut their losses quick? Can they get out of there? Can they not lose anybody? Well, the Pangolier will be the first to fall. All the other 4 heroes should TP out. Now. Why is DCK still farming? Okay, there we go. Finally got out.
Don't worry, he's the man with the plan. He knew exactly what he was getting into.
Yeah, calculated risk. I wonder how calculated of a risk was the fact that you let your opponents play Hoodwink, who's now out farming your offlaner by about 1,500 net worth.
As we previously said, you know, you can't be perfect at everything. And okay, the real question though is, are you convinced now?
By who?
Taking offlane. Do you think it, or is it just because the team match?
Yeah, I'm not convinced yet. I'll be honest.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough.
Mass
like,
TPs.
Damn Sanking, man.
I think, okay, I don't hate the hero off lane as much as you do, but I would still argue it's just much better as a mid laner. That's basically my opinion.
Yeah, that sounds fair. The problem is, for them, there isn't really much to do now. Like, they can't really team fight. They can only split push. But even at split pushing, Bulgaria is better. Like, their draft is better at it. So, what are your realistic options at mounting a comeback hit? You kind of have to hope that they misstep.
No.
I not. Ow, this hurts.
That was so close. That was so close. We saw that entire thing unfold. Ember Spirit was like a 0.002 seconds away from having Sleight of Fist again before he got orchided. He could have killed the Hoodwink at least. I wanted to say, right, Azerbaijan is doing a good job with the usage of the Illuminate from the Keeper of the Light and Snapfire, both great heroes of cutting the waves. That's why we see all of these rotations back, but this has been the third core dying for Azerbaijan back-to-back in the span of 2 minutes. Yes, you're not losing your objectives, but you're losing your big cores. I mean, it's not worse, but it's definitely not better either.
And the gold is just growing and growing, and we already spoke about the late game potential. Like Storm, Void, I mean, with my controls farm, Sanking too. What do you actually do? It's going to get insanely overwhelming soon.
And there's the BKB on 2 of their big cores. You mentioned Mind Control isn't dying anytime soon. A little Plebzig even collecting the Wisdom Rune for his side, doesn't even care about the supports. I think only because of that. You got level 21. You're not going to get 25 anytime soon. I think Bulgaria needs to lose because of that. Little Pleb, I've changed my mind. Azerbaijan all the way. Let's go, boys.
Yeah, I think it doesn't work that way, unfortunately. If it did, a lot of other teams would have won throughout history. Imagine you're a player.
Yep.
Can you catch someone? Ember? Like, imagine you're a player, and you could just say, I hope you guys lose, and then you win against them.
I don't know, there's people that believe in manifesting stuff.
Yes. But it would be unfair, right? If you could manifest, like, a team losing to you.
I guess. I don't know.
There must be limits to manifestation, then. Like, players shouldn't be allowed to do it against their opponent players. Or something like that. I don't know if there's rules. Maybe you know better than me.
Yeah, absolutely. I definitely do. Yeah, me and Manny, my good friend, are always manifesting. That's the joke. Haha. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I'll be here all weekend long. As we have last hurrah smoke from Azerbaijan. Let's see if they can get on top of this target. Aegis has expired, so it's the perfect time to go for the smoke play. But Bulgaria is bundled up together.
As they should be. They really have no reason to be sold at this point. And with experienced players like Mind Control, this is where they really shine, right? Reading the map, making sure your team stays in the right positions.
Yeah, well, the smoke will dissipate. They're going to go back to farming. They're going to sacrifice their final tier 2 tower. And now, with no more outer towers, the next Roshan that could spawn any moment between the next 2 to 5 minutes will most likely guarantee a high ground initiation. Keeper of the Light gets caught in the tree line by La Jolla. Mastermind forced to TP back, but it's only a support. Tanking that like a champ yet again.
Yeah, but you only have so many lives to give, right? Like, the gold is steadily growing. That's the biggest problem. If they were split pushing efficiently and making lots of bank themselves, it probably would be okay to play this way, but the way it is, you're just basically bleeding gold to the enemy, and you can't do this forever. They're just getting richer and richer.
Oh wow, they're not just even waiting for the next stages, they're just knocking at the door. They got the Lotus on the Void. He's got a full Reaver. He's got 3k HP, 22 armor. They're gonna force the Fortify right away. And I gotta say, Black, right now, I believe...
You can fly... Oh, okay.
What? Well, no Aviana Feather yet, not minute 37. If Azerbaijan doesn't somehow manage to pull off a great comeback with a 1% given from Dota Plus for the last 15 minutes, they will officially be eliminated from the qualifiers, Black. Yes, they will have one more series to play, but that will be more for pride than chances of making even the lower bracket.
Yeah, it's a tough one. Especially look how Bulgaria is playing, man. They're playing so safe. Like, this is literally tournament performance right here. The way they're playing. They're not leaving anything to chance. Wait for Roche. Finish the game in a clean fashion. It's really, really good.
They're playing
way different from the Bulgaria of yesterday.
Absolutely. And it's good to see that they learn from their mistakes. Now they're jumping in, Hex forward, BKB's Ember Spirit, Glimmer Cape keeping himself alive with the Guardian Greaves, pass to the BKB, Fire Remnant, and he does get out to safety. Now, wants to go back in onto the Storm Spirit. He does not have any Aegis. Nice steering chains onto Mastermind. The Lotus Orb trying to keep him alive, but Mastermind has fallen. But look at that pitch perfect Ice Path set up for the Chronosphere onto 3 targets. The first one falls, and now the second will join him in the afterlife. Leibniz onto 2. Loom has the BKB, gets thrown back in forward. Reality Rift tries to kill the Jakiro. The damage, is it sufficient? We have a buyback from the Snapfire, but the CK 1v4, not enough survivability, and now he will die. Mind Control continuing to pursue forward. Yule Scepter in the air for Floney. Dust, and he will most likely die to Lil Pleb. Does get slowed by time dilation. Nice bashes onto the Keeper of the Light, and now the Lotus pullback. Team wipe ultra kill for Lil Pleb as Team Bulgaria are right now spearheading to this victory.
Very one-sided affair. I really just have to say, I love the way that Bulgaria played this game. Yeah, they had the hiccups here and there, but ultimately, they played so safe. Again, it was really, I like to use the term tournament ready.
Yeah.
Not at all like yesterday. Which is very interesting, like how fast they changed over just the course of one day. What do you think happened, actually?
I think they probably came in thinking, oh, nice Fire Remnant dodge. Well, let's watch this final team fight, and then I'll answer your question in the after game. Ice Path connects again. Nizan, Bushwhacked, Lotus, Glimmer Cape, nice dodge with the Sleight of Fist, and now Remnant out of there. Rolling Thunder, they're trying to hold the range racks, and I think they might just do so successfully. Can they get a kill on either of these two supports? They're trying to get both the Jakiro and the Hoodwink, who will fall first. Both of them die, but Mastermind is back alive, coming in. Hex on top of the CK, no BKB for a couple more seconds. The Lotus, and now the BKB Phantasm comes through, but their right-click damage is just too much, Black. They lose the CK Pango again, the racks continue, and, to answer your question, because I feel like I've been talking for 7 days, oh, never mind!
Holding. It costs some buybacks, of course, but, you know, they're not dead yet. Prolonging their inevitable death by a couple more minutes.
Just saying, the Dota Plus has never shown 100% yet this game.
Sorry.
It's been at 99 since minute 18, but never 100.
Which is pretty incredible.
Yeah, I would say so. I don't think I've ever seen a 99% hold still for over 15 minutes. It's a 3v3 here, and the CK will be back before the Storm will. There's a level 25 though on Lil Pleb, and a full Satanic. And I think he's getting a... Is that a Daedalus? Or an MKB? Probably MKB, I guess.
We don't want to talk about that. Because that would mean that they, you know, have even less of a chance.
Oh, Ember finds the Hoodwink, maybe La Jolla, Bushwhack, and runs out of there. Yeah, I think that Bulgaria came in yesterday maybe thinking, being a bit overconfident. I honestly think that might have been the situation, especially looking at their group. I think they were the heavy favorites compared to Group D when we had Poland, Georgia, Ukraine, 3 teams that could all beat each other. I think Bulgaria looked at the draw of the groups and said, oh, should be a walk in the park, and they got caught by surprise. You know, first game went exactly how they expected it, and then they rested on their laurels and got punished by teams that have prepared and are way hungrier than they were.
I think that actually makes complete sense. Seen it many times where people, as you said, they were just kind of expecting themselves to win, didn't really want to work for it, no preparation. But obviously, that looks very different today.
Yeah. I mean, again, I would have hoped that a single loss would have been enough for them to bounce back, but it was needed for them to also face North Macedonia in that main event yesterday to realize, oh god, yeah, we need to up our game if we want to have a chance in this, because we're embarrassing ourselves. And like you said, today, showing up tournament ready, an almost impeccable performance on all fronts, top to bottom, from the draft to the early game to the execution.
Yeah, again, it's not the flashiest win that we've seen for sure. It's just very methodical, very slow, and a very surefire way of winning. Exactly what you want if you're the team playing. Definitely not what you want when you're playing against it.
Final stand, Rolling Thunder coming in, going forward, trying to connect onto the Void, who's sidestepping it very nicely now. There's a bit of a backdoor protection for a couple more moments. This Faceless Void does get Searing changed and finally stunned, but the Store Spirit, oh god, who's catching who? The CK damage from the Sharpshooter is so overwhelming. BKB or not, the Chaos Knight is done for, and the Void still up in the front, fighting with all of the other Dire heroes right now. Trying to hit the melee racks. This is the only building holding them away from the Mega Crypts. Ember going in the backline. This is such a spread team fight. BKB again. CK kills Jakiro with an instant buyback, but now the Chronosphere turnaround. Pangolier and CK get called, and the Epic Center from Mind Control to allow himself and Lil Pleb to collect the other 2 core kills. It's only the Keeper of the Light and the Snapfire support duo standing between Bulgaria and their second victory in this group stage.
Finally, they had it coming. Bulgaria, I really, as I said a couple of times already, love the way they played today. I think this was much closer to the potential that we all expected than yesterday.
Of course.
Because even when they won yesterday, we were kind of like, yeah, not bad, but not at all as dominant as we expected, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah. Well played. What can you say? Seriously. From start to finish, not the most flashy. Lots of farming, lots of stacks, lots of sticking together when you had to. They gave no chance to the other team to take it back at all.
And this is going to be my question for the future of the season for Bulgaria, be it going all the way to the World Esports Championships or stopping in this qualifier. Can they maintain this consistency long term? Because this was the issue last year. We saw them in the group stage as Yash, and they were incredible. Arguably top 2 performances in the group stages. Then they hit the playoffs and they started playing like a completely different team. So when you are, like you said, running with a bit of a mix, how much can you be, how much cohesiveness can you get together in the time you spend together to be consistent enough to replicate this sort of performances we've seen from them versus Azerbaijan perpetually?
I really think it depends on how seriously all these players are taking it, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them, some of the teams we have seen, they really boot camp a month, 2, maybe even longer. Like those are usually the, I guess, quote unquote, lesser, teams, lesser stacks without like tier 1 players. But I think if Bulgaria takes it like super seriously and they get the top lineup that they can get, scary team on paper. They have everything they need.
I'm just looking a little bit at the other results that might have taken place since we began our Bulgarian-Azerbaijan cast, and I'm gonna go straight to their group, of course, Group 3, and the results have not come in just yet. Surprisingly, I would have expected Denmark, Serbia, North Macedonia, Belarus to be already completed, but that is a very important match happening off stream. North Macedonia and Belarus, they're both undefeated teams in Group C. Means whoever wins that one will be guaranteed a playoff spot and potentially, I believe, even first place in the group. So huge game there. If you are Bulgaria, you are hoping for North Macedonia to defeat Belarus, because then their final round 5 of this group 3 will mean Bulgaria has the chance to defeat Belarus and then equal them in 3 wins and 2 losses. So that's kind of the thought process that all of the Bulgarian players have to have in their mind right now, because otherwise, if Belarus beats North Macedonia, I would argue North Macedonia will most likely beat Serbia, and that means Bulgaria will start in the lower bracket.
Which, even then, as we said, probably they would still be fine. But of course, you want to have that extra life. You never want to, be one and done. Feels terrible, especially for a team like Bulgaria that know that they should be, a top contender.
Sadly, this is going to be the end of the journey for Azerbaijan, who are officially out of the tournament. There is no other way for them to make it even in the lower bracket, but they will be playing one more match later today in none other than facing wait, who are they facing? Let me just update it all. Denmark. Okay, so both teams with 0-4 will be fighting to see which one of them can get at least one victory in the European qualifiers. And then Black, this is it. The second game is done. We will be sending it to a couple of minutes break, but we will return with the third one, and it's gonna be France yet again versus Hungary, making their debut on stream this year.